Hello again, this is Breakfast Daily here on Citi TV. My name is Nanatufo Boating. Time now for our news review segment. And of course, as you would always have it, topical stories making the headlines in the various dailies as well as the various news websites. We'll be getting into the stories shortly, but let me say good morning to Superintendent Retired Peter Lanchini Tobu. Now he's an honorable, of course, representing the good people of Wa West on the tickets of the NDC. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I trust you're doing
You
well.
need to add the great NDC.
The great NDC.
Exactly.
Apologies.
Thank you. Thank you. Because it's gradually become the only party in Ghana that has credibility.
We're sure of that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You're sure of
what
that?
has happened to the MPP, you don't need any storyteller to tell you that.
What has happened to the MPP?
The MPP? Oh, please. The MPP in 1992, according to Alan Chamanting, this is not the MPP that we had in 1992. It's totally a bastardized one. We will get there.
we definitely will get there. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We're still expecting our second guest. He should be coming in shortly. Once he does, we'll introduce him and then we'll get into the conversations. But let's start off from Winneba, because the residents in Winneba yesterday held a demonstration alleging that their sacred forest, where they do their deer hunting for the annual Aboakyire festival, has been sold to a private business person, of course, with the idea of exploring or prospecting for lithium. And we've had some responses to that. We've heard the Member of Parliament for Futu, who happens to be the Deputy Majority Leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, respond to this. We've also heard the boss of the Minerals Commission also deny same, saying that whatever application was made for the same land in question had been declined. I'll take a quick story from citinewsroom.com, and this is Alexander Afenyo-Markin speaking. It says, Winneba Ramsar site hasn't been sold. The Member of Parliament for Futu, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has denied the sale of the sacred forest used in the hunting of deer during the annual Aboakyire festival to some investors. Now, some residents of Winneba in their Futu constituency in the central region took to the streets on Tuesday to register their displeasure over allegations of the sale of the Ramsar site in Winneba to investors for mining purposes. Now, speaking to journalists, the Deputy Majority Leader in Parliament said such claims are untrue and must be disregarded. Honorable, the people of Winneba are alleging that the Ramsar site, or the wetland, the sacred forest where they do their deer hunting annually for the Aboakyire festival, has been sold. Yesterday they hit the streets, and clearly in there we saw them being led by a former PC of the area, Joshua, I think it's Joshua Anan, right? And the allegation is that the Ramsar site has been sold, but we've heard from the Minerals Commission saying, or declining same. The MP has also declined same and has even assured of his commitment to protect the Ramsar site. Should this put the matter to rest?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the man whose single policy... His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama.
President?
Once president, always a president.
But there's a sitting president.
Oh, yes, I record that, and I acknowledge that. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the president now. If you want me to say former president, no problem. But I'm saying that President John Dramani Mahama, if you go to the U.S., even you meet Obama, you still call him President Obama. So as simple as that. Don't complicate matters. The man who is bringing the 24-hour economy policy and is gradually shaking the whole foundations. We don't know how we slept for many years without realizing that God gave each country 24 hours and it's a constant. You have to take advantage of that. I want to greet my good friend, James Kofi Annan. I want to greet my own Deputy Majority Leader, Afenyo-Markin, Honorable. And I want to greet the people of Efutu, the kings and queens. I want to greet everybody who is listening to us. When I watched the demonstrating yesterday, I think that I was quite excited. Excited in the sense that these are people who are conscious of their own environment. These are people who believe that government has a responsibility, but as citizens, we also have a responsibility. The Constitution is supreme, but sovereignty resides with the people. So what they did was that they had an observation and they had information. And I'm told that even on the Minerals Commission website, there was that publication which was later pulled down. take it or leave it.
That's an allegation that has been made by
take it or whether it's true or not. But the fact is that the people of Winneba ought to be praised. The people of Efutu ought to be acknowledged that if all of us were as vigilant as they are, I'm sure that government at any point in time will always be conscious of what they do. The Ramsar site is a very important site, not for the minerals, but for culture. And for any government to attempt to get into that site without collaboration and in consultation with the chiefs and people of Efutu, that would be that would amount to a highest level of disrespect. I was happy listening to my own Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Afenyo Markins, when he expressly stated that that could not be true, that he is not aware of any license that was granted, he is not aware of any prospecting in the forest. But I say, whether it is true or not, we live to see. We live in a Ghana these days that sometimes when they say it's not true, you begin to wonder whether you should believe it. But here we are. They are saying it's not true. Under normal circumstances, if you raise an issue and government comes to say that is not true, it should let the matter lie. But we have seen similar examples in the past, right? That when they say it is not going to work that way, finally it works that way. When Parliament, when they came saying that we are resilient people, and the economy is doing well, and we are not going to go to IMF today, we are not going to go to IMF tomorrow. Right. Today, where are we? We are on an IMF program. Yes. We've turned the corner into the IMF program. We've not turned the corner out. I like the way you put it. Yes. We've turned the corner into the IMF program, and we are operating an IMF program now, run by the government. So when they say we are not going to do this, you believe it at your own risks. But I want to take and believe that Honorable Afenyo Markins, who I work with in Parliament, an affable gentleman, I want to believe that he's gone into the background and believe that it is not true. And let's hold it that it is not true. But if it was very true, I would have been disappointed that we can get into that culturally sensitive part of Efutu without the approval of the chiefs or without the cognizance of the chiefs. Whatever we do, you can just believe that this is a no-go area. You want to kill the Aboakyire festival? You want to kill the culture of the Efutu people? You want to bastardize their chiefs by getting in there without any acknowledgement? They are saying that we heard it and we are protesting. Government comes to the report and says, it is not true. The Minerals Commission says, no, it is not true. Let's all believe it's not true. But I would be very surprised that tomorrow things will turn around and we will find that somebody is doing prospecting in that Ramsar side. And that can spark some level of violence. Let's be honest, as a people, integrity is required in running countries. And the credibility of the government is on the line. Honorable Afenyo Markins, his party is in power. He comes to tell us that it is not true. The man in charge of the Minerals Commission comes to say it is not true. Who else should we believe in? I believe in them. And I want to believe that it is not true. And let nobody tomorrow come to tell us any coin story that we want to give reasons as to why, oh, it was not true yesterday, but today it is true. I remember a statement made by Dr. Pakwesi Indum. He said, if we discover oil, if the oil is going to be a curse unto Ghana, let it remain down there. It's better. That this country has so many mineral resources. We've discovered gold many years ago. Has gold been a blessing? We've discovered diamond. Has a diamond been a blessing? We've discovered limestone. We've discovered manganese. The discovery of lithium is not necessarily a panacea to our economic mess. Discovering what God has given unto us is not the answer to our problem. Being innovative not to turn what we discovered into some engine or some source of growth for the economy is what will turn things around.
I was going to go into the much larger conversation of the discovery of lithium deposits and how we deal with it in order not to come back or stay the same as we have done with gold and oil deposits. We've heard the Minerals Commission boss again say that no country can make 40% royalties out of mineral resources. I'm not sure what his justification is, but I'm saying that do we deal or approach the discovery and exploration of lithium same way as we have done with other resources, despite our prevailing circumstances?
It is our capacity as a country to negotiate for a better deal that will bring the relief. The discovery on its own is not a matter that should excite all of us.
Right.
Of course, lithium is a natural resource that is quite expensive. Yes, we know that. And we're going to make a lot of money from it. Yes, we know that. But we're making money from oil. We're making money from gold. Yeah. We're making money from manganese. Enough. We're making money, whatever it is. But that is the money we're making. If we do not have a capacity to negotiate and get a better deal to make money on all these other minerals, why will somebody be thinking that lithium will be different? For me, I don't think that discovering minerals or natural resources in Ghana with the same mentality that we've used for the past 50 years can bring any transformation. I'm sure that there are other minerals that are yet to be discovered, and that this land is naturally blessed. This is a very rich land naturally, unfortunately inhabited by poor people. The disconnect is quite disturbing, that the land is naturally rich, the people are inherently poor. And what is the disconnect? The disconnect is about the mental capacity of the Ghanaian to go back to our roots, rediscover ourselves, and renegotiate many of these things. You see what is happening in many of the Francophone countries? They are going back to renegotiate many of the contracts that has virtually imprisoned them over years. Yeah. And I think that we should be able to do that better. But what may, if the discovery of any mineral will not inure to the poor people of this country. You know what Gaddafi was doing in Libya? Muhammad Gaddafi, of blessed memory, he used to say, the oil belongs to the Libyan people. So if I am making money from oil, even though you've completed school and you don't have a job, you should be enjoying the money from the oil until you find a job.
Right.
So it is our resource. The poor Ghanaian watching me in Wichao, my constituency, I greet all of you. Chairman Matthew Var, Secretary Asion, and all that. I greet them because they always love to watch wherever I go. And they know that I speak facts. I don't politicize matters too much. The young man watching me in Durmo is asking, the discovery of lithium, is it going to give me a job? The young person who is watching me just completed SSS in Kunchile in my constituency, very frustrated. And if you look at within the National Security Blueprint, we call it the National Security Strategy, right? If you look into that document, it is clearly written in there that youth unemployment is the greatest threat to our national security. All these young people who are frustrated after school, not knowing what to do, will the discovery of lithium be a panacea to their problem? Of course not. Did gold do that? No. Did diamond do that? No. We just discovered oil in 2007. We're very excited. Has oil brought a revolution to our economy? Have we been able to transform the Gadgetsburg economy? No. At the end of the day, in 2008, we thought that we found the finest brain, an economist wizard, in the person of Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. We thought that he was coming to be transformational in mentality and mind. Gradually, 7 years down the line, you know, he made President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo to believe so much that actually there is money in the Bank of Ghana. There is money on our road. Just toll the roads and you get enough money to construct new roads. There is money in this country. And it was based on that that President Nana Akufo-Addo made that emphatic statement. Yet it's a castle and a comedy. We are right sitting on money and we are poor. We are hungry. That is true. We are sitting on gold. We are sitting on lithium. We are sitting on oil. We are sitting on manganese. We are sitting on so many things. What is remaining for us to be able to tap into these natural resources and transform this country is an innovative brain. I always tell people, if you are a leader without initiative, you are just a mere worker in a leadership position. If you are a leader without innovation, you are just a mere worker providing some kind of leadership in front. But at the end of the day, at the end of your tenure, you realize that you picked the country from where it is or it was, and you intended to carry it to where you think that it should be, but you landed at the point that the country has gotten worse than you took it. And that is not development. That is not good governance. That is not the democracy.
These qualities you mentioned in John Dramani Mahama?
President John Dramani Mahama, fortunately for us, his track record is too excelling to the eye. His track record is too clear to the eye for anybody to doubt. When he says, I am the infrastructure king, I want to believe that we need a foundation before we can fly. I want to have an infrastructure for the health sector. So when we're talking about making the health sector better, the infrastructure is already there. I want to have a better...
This government is also doing Agenda 1.
Please. When they promised 88 hospitals in 3 months, we told them it wasn't workable. And they said because we couldn't do it, we were just challenging them for nothing. It transformed itself from 88 to Agenda 111. I have one in Wichao as I speak to you. Last week I was there, I didn't find any contractor. And that project was supposed to have been completed in September.
What was the state of work, the progress?
I am not an engineer, but I think that if you tell me that the state is about 50%, I'll be surprised.
Wow.
I'll be surprised.
Wow.
And there are a lot of them littered around the country. Sloganeering is quite interesting, and they love it. But for some of us, when you talk about President John Dramani Mahama, just go to the Bank of Ghana Hospital, walk to Accra Regional Hospital, go to Legon and you find a hospital. Go back to the Upper West region in Wa, and you will see the Upper West Regional Hospital, beautifully built. And when you talk about digitalization, what President John Dramani Mahama did in terms of building a solid infrastructure for takeoff is incomparable. And whatever President Mahama says, and what is more important for me to recall, is the fact that President Mahama inherited this country at the point that Dumso arrived. And they say, yes, he brought Dumso. I said, fine. When you are taking over a country, you take over the liabilities and the assets. So Dumso is a liability. I've taken over, and I'm a leader. I'm not coming to do this light patching. No. Like what we've been doing to the motorway for years. The motorway has expired. You need to do a new one. Continuously patching an expired road will not solve the problem. President Mahama inherited an economy that was in trouble. He had inherited a Dumso system. And he said, I am not going to do patch. I'm going to fix it. And you know what? When you hear the MPP speak, they said, since we came, we've not added 1 megawatt to our power source. But what President Mahama has done, he's brought in too much power. And we are even paying, what? Excess capacity.
And that's where the MPP has an issue with, that we were paying even for power we are not consuming.
Exactly. You are paying for power you are not consuming. From an innovation background, if you have enough power you are not consuming, you are paying for it. And people also need power.
They should export.
Right? Export the power. Even in my village, there are several communities in Wild West. Over how many communities? Over 100 communities in Wild West without power. And you have excess capacity, and you are using the taxpayers' money to pay the excess capacity when the village in my constituency needs power. Generate it and supply. Generate it and export. And if you export, you make more money. And when you make money, you can actually have a reduced cost for our village people. I am sure that if they had come to say, President Mahama brought in too much power, and we are paying for excess capacity. So we want to ensure that instead of paying for excess capacity without generating and using, we are going to, within 1 year, have a 99% coverage for this country in terms of what? Electricity supply. Today, as we speak.
We've digressed a bit, but let's get back into the Futu constituency. So, and let's deal with the nature of the protest yesterday that subsequently led to the arrest of 10 persons. We understand the police mounted a blockade seeking to stop the protesters from assessing the municipal assembly to be able to present their petition. And this is what led to an altercation. We heard of some pelting of stones leading to the arrest of these 10 persons. The conduct of the police one, and of course the behavior of the protesters.
Thank you very much. You have made us to digress a little. You know, when you mention President John Dramani Mahama, it's a whole topic. It's an institution, and we will not go there.
I can understand.
When we get back to Futu, you know what happened? The people, they have the right to demonstrate. The police have a duty to provide security for the people who are demonstrating to enjoy their constitutional right. In that same spirit, the police are expected to be professional. The demonstrators are expected to be responsible. So responsible demonstrators with professional policing can let people enjoy our democracy. So in the process of demonstrating, if you do anything that is untoward, the police will not take it.
Right.
And in the process of demonstrating, if the police also do anything unprofessional, the demonstrators are likely to react. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is to ensure that people in this country enjoy their constitutional right. And the police officers themselves will also be professional enough to let people appreciate that you are paid to provide security. You are paid to protect life and property.
Right.
So when people are enjoying their constitutional right, it is your duty to get there and let them know that we are here to do our job. And in doing our job, if any of you misbehave, we will deal with you. And in dealing with you, we are not just being wicked, we are being lawful. So I believe that at any point in time, leaders of demonstrators must always be trained. And leaders of demonstrators must always accept the fact that we have a responsibility to carry our people on a very responsible path. And if the police are also becoming unprofessional, the police is governed by rules and regulations. Of course, leadership of the demonstrator can report the police command to the next level. And after the demonstration, they will be taken on. So when we understand all these processes, all these rules and regulations, I'm not sure that we always have a confrontation. Sometimes the confrontations are actually very needless. But what happened in Efutu, I am quite sure that another day has come. Gradually it will resolve. But the people of Efutu has demonstrated that we will not allow this illegality we are hearing to happen, if it is really going to happen. And government comes to say, oh no, there is nothing like that. And we also want to believe that what government says, if it is true, the matter should come to a rest. Nobody is going to the Ramsar site. And the Efutu people, as they suspect and they were demonstrating, they should lay their arms, because the government has confirmed that nobody is coming there. But if somebody springs a surprise, I am sure that the people of Efutu will spring a better surprise.
So you think that by extension, all of us should be vigilant enough, all of us should be patriotic enough in order to blow the whistle on some of these things and act in protecting our reserves?
When the president in 2017 says, I want every Ghanaian to be a citizen and not a spectator, the people of Efutu are demonstrating that we are very responsible citizens. We are not just spectators of our own land. And I expect every Ghanaian to toe that line. Toe that line of being very responsible and not just being a spectator, but in your responsibility. Understand that you work under the rules and regulations provided by law. All of us must respect the law because the Constitution is supreme. But until then, let the police do their work. Let us enjoy our lives. But when there is a reason that we should demonstrate, do not hesitate to follow the due process and go on a demonstration to express your view. If you need to blow the whistle, be a very decent whistleblower. But gradually, all of us together, in that piece of puzzle, will make Ghana a better place.
Understandably so. But then also we can look at the, I don't know if it's a growing appetite or it's always been there but has been escalated in recent times. This wanton sale of lands, especially state lands. Recently, even the speaker had raised issue with an almost or nearly sold, his residence being nearly sold and all that. I mean, just a quick bite on this.
You know, my son who just finished his national service, yesterday night when I got home, this was the story he came out with. Said, Dad, the way people are selling lands, very particularly politically related deals, if we continue like this, the young ones like me, before I get to your level where I have something to do, will I even have a land to build anything?
And that's dangerous.
And that is a young man asked me a question.
Yeah.
He is thinking that leadership of this country is gradually imprisoning the future of this country.
Yeah.
And is gradually painting a picture to say the youth have no future. And if the youth realize that they don't have future, they are living in a hopeless system, they are going to react. And I'm so sure of what is written in the National Security Strategy document, that youth unemployment is the greatest threat to our national security. And not only unemployment, when they realize that there's some level of hopelessness in the system, and this hopelessness is being perpetuated by people who are supposed to be providing leadership and being innovative enough to give us hope, I am sure that this country will not be a very safe one. But let's not get there. That's a very good question. Why are we so much excited about the sale of lands? The speaker made mention of it, that they are redeveloping many of the government lands. But I think that the laws are there. I'm not a lawyer, but the law says that if you have acquired land for the use of the state, you by the state, 50 years, 100 years, and at a point in time, the state is no longer interested in using the land, the simple rule says that return the land to the owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to sell it, let the owner decide. But you have gone to acquire land from the people, and the land now belongs to the state for a particular purpose. At the end of the day, 50 years down the line, the state is no longer interested in the land. And people in politics, people in government, right, at any point in time, decide that they are arrogating the ownership of the land to themselves and they sell it to themselves. President of Blessed Man, President John Atta Mills, when he was alive, he was so incensed about this particular incident. Unfortunately, he didn't live to see how he could push it through. And gradually, it is still in the system. We need to one day rise up and say, what is wrong is wrong. What the law says should be respected. If you collected a land from me, 200 acres of land, 70 years ago from my father or from my grandfather, for the purpose of our collective good, and you no longer need it, please return it. You can't start appropriating the land yourself. You are not the owner of the land. If the state owns the land, you see, the president is not Ghana. No minister is Ghana. They are all part of the system that runs the country. So when you leave, another person comes. Nobody owns this country. All of us collectively. It's our country.
So you think that the Lands Commission has gone to bed and allowing some political actors to take advantage of the lapse in their system?
The Lands Commission should have been doing. We are talking about technology. We are talking about digitalization. We should be able to have this country right. Every data should be on computer. And if you call the Lands Commission now, we've been asking questions in Parliament. Can we have the list of the lands, government lands that have been sold and who has been buying them? Up to date, we are still waiting for the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to provide us with that list. We want to find out. Somebody says we want it from 2017. And somebody says, no, let's go and start from 1993. Basically, we can do an audit of our Fourth Republic. I agree. Let's do an audit of Fourth Republic, not only on lands, on many other areas. 30 years plus down the line, I think that the Fourth Republic is matured enough for us to look back. Many of the rules and regulations that were developed, even within the Constitution, many of the sections that were developed, many of the articles in there, they reflected the need of the time. 30 years down the line, are we still in the same landscape? Can we change something? Because this is a living document. The Constitution is not cast in iron. So after 30 years, if we do an audit of who we are as a people, how far we've come in our democracy, and whether the dividend of democracy is inuring to the benefit of ordinary people, is a question we must answer. Democracy is government by the people and for the people. So for the people, are the people getting better? Are the people excited about the fact that they vote and elect their own leaders and dictate to them what they want? Is that what we are getting as a country? If that is not what we are getting, let's sit back, reflect, and see where we can cross the T's and dot the I's and make Ghana a better place for the next 30 years.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Peter Lanchene Tobu, Superintendent Retired, Member of Parliament, Wa West. This is still Breakfast Daily. You're watching the News Review segment. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into some other issues. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Breakfast Daily here on Citi TV. This is the News Review segment. I've been having a conversation all this while with Superintendent Retired Peter Lanchene Tobu, Member of Parliament for Wa West. And joining us is Enoch Anhre Afuakwa. He's a member of the MPP's National Communication Team. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Atifo.
Great. So,
good morning to Retired.
Good morning, my brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So prior to your arrival, we were looking at the people of Futu and the demonstration from yesterday, resulting in the arrest of 10 persons. But really the bone of contention in there is that there's an alleged sale of the Ramsar site to a business person or a private company to prospect lithium. And so I'll give you a quick bite on that, and then we'll move to our next story.
Yeah, thank you, Renato, for let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers. Unfortunately, I missed my way to your studio. I went back to Arabaka, the Citi FM areas, before driving back to Arabaka. That's delayed my time. So my viewers and our viewers should pardon me. I'm not the late. Granted. Respectfully, a very good morning from His Excellency the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to the entire good people of this country. And as you know him, like he's a unifier, a technocrat who gets things done. He's working in the interest of the good people of Ghana and will enhance their capabilities and prosperity when he assumes the mantle of leadership as the president of the Republic of Ghana in 2025.
He served as vice for 7 years.
He's still doing it. He's the most visible vice president. He's the most visible vice president ever in the history.
He has bettered a lot of Ghanaians.
He has bettered a lot of. His superintendent is chatting right now on his phone. And as a result of the digitalization drive of His Excellency.
We had mobile phones before.
By improved digitalization, government PayPal platforms, a whole lot of things, mobile money interoperability, and a whole lot of things that he has brought on there. There are some policies.
Yesterday I was actually complaining because previously, you know, when you move money from your mobile money account into your bank account, you are not charged. For the past 1 week, we are being charged without any information. No announcement. And this charge is not even the telco charge. This is actually tax. That's e-levy.
E-levy. Oh, certainly the honorable member is here. He can speak to it because they passed the bill into law. And certainly those exemptions as to with regards to transfers from your mobile account or from your wallet to your mobile account was not taxable and those things. So we must look at those
when we preach the digitalization drive as our salvation, some of us get worried because our small coins that we are trying to protect, now we are being taxed heavily on it.
Certainly, a law has been passed, the Electronic Levy Act has been passed, And there were some exemptions. And now that you are mentioning, we'll follow up and see, because I have been transferring from my wallet to my account and I've not seen those deductions as you are mentioning. So I have not tried that within this week. So certainly once you are raising issues, then we need to look out to it. Clearly. But that doesn't blind the good things that the mobile money interoperability has brought to the people of Ghana. And having rationalized or brought the economy to the digital platform and encouraging us running all day long and enhancing people's delivery and prosperity in terms of business.
It's just the taxation that is killing us.
Absolutely. So we have to look at that aspect, because transferring from an account to a mobile wallet was not taxable.
But now it is.
So certainly we have to look at that.
Right.
But His Excellency is the most visible vice president ever in the history of our country. And there are several policies that you mentioned that you cannot take his name out of those policies as vice president, even as vice president. So when he becomes president, then it means that he is then in the seat of affairs and will be steering the affairs of this country, and a lot more will be done for the people of this country.
Will he be a digital president or an economic president?
No, he's an economist. Mind you, that digitalization is not different from the current day economy. Now, economic transformation thrives more with digitalization. Online marketing, online business, payments and those things, clearing of goods at the port and tracking your invoices and all those things, bill of lading and those things. Our digitalization, it enhances the economy. So certainly once he built a robust digital system, then certainly the economy is set to thrive and to prosper.
Granted. So let's touch
on the issue of your lithium with regards to the Futu demonstrations and the like. I would wish to say that all those people politicizing the grant of mineral rights and licenses in this country must be careful. The Minerals Commission has a platform, and the platform the Minerals Commission is that it's an online platform. Once you identify an area that you feel there is it contains or it has some deposits, whether lithium, whether gold, whether diamond and the likes, and you are interested in prospecting, you put in an online application. That's the first stage. And once the online application goes, that area, it's they call the cadastral system, seizes or blocks that area for you. Then you move to the second stage of the mineral application, where the inspectors will go on site and inspect whether the place is viable, visible, it does not encroach on the traditional lineages and all there is, sacred groves and sacred lands of our people. It doesn't interfere with Ramsar site, the environment and all those things. So the EIS system, the Minerals Commission per their standards have mechanisms of going through those procedures. So in as much as a company has applied online, that is the first stage. As to whether the right to be granted or not lies in the purview of the Minerals Commission to do its due diligence and technical, within their technical capabilities, to be able to say, yes, this area is capable of, the area is good for the prospect that you want to undertake or the undertaking that you want to pursue, or it is not. So we have refused or we have rejected your application. Is it metal or something company limited applied? Green metals applied. To prospect for, is it lithium or something there? They identified a resource there. Minerals Commission says, no, that place, it's not. They have not granted any mineral right to a Green Metals Limited. Where lies the demonstration? You see, it is coming into an election year. And knowing very well that the people of Efutu dwell so much on that enclave. As far as their Aboakyire festivals are concerned, their heritage, the festival that they have celebrated for over 500 years. That brings in a lot of tourists. And this is a government that is promoting tourism. Look at the redevelopment of the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park and how people are using the facility now. Look at the year of return. Look at the December in Ghana and a whole lot of things to attract the African diasporans in other parts of the world to come in.
And yesterday, the government earmarked for 400
million Ghana cedis in the coming year to be able to improve upon our tourist sites and improve upon our tourism so that we can have arrivals of over 2 million next year. That's our projection, that we should have an arrival of over 2 million tourists coming into the country, spend with us, and averagely, if every tourist is spending around $3,000 in Ghana, how much in Ghana cedis getting an arrival of over 2 million people spans quantum of money that does not destroy the environment. It does not destroy water bodies. It does not destroy the flora and fauna of our country. And certainly that is the good thing to do. And the Member of Parliament for Efutu, Honorable Alexander Kwabena Fenyomaki, has served notice that no. The Minerals Commission has served notice that no, we have not granted the mineral right to this company. This is the procedure. They have applied. Yes, it is true they have applied.
But
it has been declined because of the place, because of the undertaking that goes on within those places, because we respect that that is a sacred grove, a sacred site for some undertaking that benefits the good people of Efutu, that benefits the entire population of Ghana, that promotes tourism and all there is. How can this government lease out this property to a private person to go and mine lithium? It is politics. And this is taking this country nowhere. We must refrain from unnecessary politicking of our national life so that this country can thrive.
All right.
Absolutely. The Minerals Commission CEO, Mr. Ayisi, has served notice that he wants to meet the traditional authorities in Efutu and some of the youth groups so that he explains to them the procedure in granting mineral rights as far as the Minerals Commission is concerned. So they understand that the mere fact that a company has applied does not mean that the company has been given a clearance to go and prospect, or better still, has been given a mineral right to go and undertake that business.
All right.